Pandas is the world's most popular Python library, commonly used for everything from data manipulation to data analysis. So in this course, we're learning how to use the Pandas data frame to manipulate our data, extract, filter, and transform real-world data sets for analysis. So some of the data sets we'll be looking at is the world data set, the Walmart sales figure, the global temperature, and homelessness data sets. We'll be calculating statistics and key visualization using pandas in Python. So welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Excel Island, where the goal and objective is to learn and master Python over the next 100 days. Today is day 20. On day 19, we started a new course called Data Manipulation with Pandas in Python. And this course actually contains 4 chapters. We'll be completing the first chapter today. We started the first chapter on day 19, which is transforming data frame. We want to master the pandas basics. We want to learn how to inspect data frame and perform fundamental data manipulation, including sorting, rows, subsetting, and adding new columns. So that's what we've done so far. So all the way from day one, we started with the Python basic. From introduction to Python, we got introduced to Python libraries. We did for loops, while loops, and a whole lot. You can catch all of that on the live stream tab on the channel. When you go to the live stream tab from day one all the way to day 19 before you can continue from this day 20, which is pretty good for you to understand what we've learned so far, the Python basic. You need to understand. If I start mentioning some key Python concepts, you may not understand it, like data frame or iLock or objects, method, and so on. It gets confusing. So I encourage you to start all the way from day one to understand all I will be saying on this live stream. So without further ado, let's jump back to learn and welcome to day 20. Also, all the data sets, CSV files that I'll be using and continue to be using to practice is already linked under the YouTube description. So do make sure to download those files and practice along with me. I'll also show you how to install the Python environment so you can also practice. Just go to day one to learn how to install the Python environment. So on day 20, on day 19 rather, which was when we started this introduction to data frame in pandas, we know you import pandas, a pandas library to work with data frame. So we got connected to the homelessness CSV file. You can download those files under the YouTube description. We just look at a brief number of rows in the data set using the .head method. Then we look at .info. Use .info to look at the quick information about what the data set we connected to. That's the homelessness CSV data set. We look at number of columns there and whether they are non-values, and data type of each column. We also look at shape, which is going to tell us the number of rows and number of columns in the whole of the data set. Then we use describe for a statistics, which is just a summary statistics, which is the count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, 25th percentile, 50%, and 75th percentile, and the maximum of value in so this is only going to work for the columns with numerical or floats data type. You get it now. So we also look at dot values to convert this Excel file, this CSV file. We converted it into a 2D numpy array with just the dot values method here. They also move ahead to look at the columns, then the index, which is the rows. Then we started our sorting. We use sort values to sort the data from highest to lowest or from lowest to highest, which is what the sort individual. So you're going to sort this whole data set by the individual column by default from the lowest to highest. You can see when you look at it, when you pay attention here, real quick, you can see the individuals column. This you can see the number of columns 1, 2, 3, 4. When we look at when we sorted the whole data set, you can see it started from 57. You can see the whole sorting chain based on the column we mentioned here. So we did all of this on day 19. You can catch all of that on the next. So we're going to continue from here and move ahead and forge ahead and complete the whole lesson on this first chapter, which is transforming data frames with the pandas library. Let me just launch my DataCamp platform really quick here. So that's what we've done so far on day 19. So we're just going to continue from here and start working through the exercises. So if I go to my DataCamp platform here, you can see we're on data manipulation with pandas. If I go to the character section real quick, under data analyst in Python, Because we started with data analysis in SQL, then we moved to data analysis in Power BI. So part of the goal for this year, 2024, is to also learn a little bit more about Python. So I'll be covering only these three tools this year and start building projects. So I'll be sharing those projects with you also on the channel. So be on the watch out for all the projects in the separate videos. So you can have portfolios in your in your in your skills, in your CV, to help you land those jobs. So I click on data analysis in Python. You can see we're just 23% out of the whole career track. You can see track completion. We're just 23%. We still have a long way to go. So we cover introduction to Python, intermediate Python. We did our first project. You can catch that on the 18 live stream where we did investigating Netflix movies. If I go to my YouTube channel, you can see the whole 1 hour data analysis project where we investigated the Netflix movies and answered a couple of key questions. So I encourage you to watch that. The data set is already linked under the YouTube description. But just continue from here real quick and see we're on data transforming data frames. That is what we've covered so far. If I click on this real quick, if I view the quick and see, you cover introduction to the data frame, expecting a data frame, parts of a data frame, sorting and subsetting. We've also talked about sorting rows. Now we're moving to subsetting columns. So to understand all what we've done so far, just go and watch the 19 live stream so you can understand everything we did here on this homelessness data set that we got actually got connected to on Jupyter Notebook here. So we just continue from here. Just click on continue chapter and let's see what we need to learn today. So subsetting columns. So we've covered sorting rows, which was pretty simple. Just all you have to do is use the function sort values. Then you mention the number of columns you want. You can see when we started with sort values here, we only use the individual column, this column to sort it. So by default, it's going to sort it ascending from lowest to highest. But if you want to mention it should sort from highest to lowest, you have to now input ascending equals to false here. Because we sorted by family members there. Because it's going to start from highest to lowest. So that's how you sort your data frame. You can say our data frame is homelessness here. So we just created a new variable for it. Homelessness farm equals to homelessness dot sort values. Then you mention the column you want to sort by. You can also sort by 2 or more columns. So that's what we did here. We sorted by region, this region column, and family members. So the region was sorted ascending too. So ascending, that should be from lowest to highest, which is from the lowest alphabet to the highest alphabet. Alphabetically, you can see started from east. And we know we have M, P, N, S in our region column. Letters starting from M, N, S, and W. Then this family members will be false. It's going to sort by the family members column from highest to lowest based on these two criteria. So let's see how we can now sort more columns. Now we're actually sorting by column, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, by columns. So the next thing is to learn to sort subsetting columns. Okay, let's see what we have to learn here. So when working with data, you may not need all the variables in your data sets. That's true. Probably you just want to point out a certain column out of the whole data set. So square brackets can be used to select only the columns that matter to you in an order that makes sense to you. Oh, interesting. So once you learn how to use square brackets to subset and call on certain columns. Let's see. Certain columns. So DF column A. So data frame. So this is DF mean data frame. That I said, you need to go back and watch some of the old videos to understand some key concepts we mentioned. Data frame, then you mention the column you want to subset on. To select column A and column B of data frame, use data frame, then use subset in double square bracket also. So homelessness is available and pandas is loaded as PD. So select the individual column. So create a series called individuals that contains only the individuals columns of homelessness. Oh, that's cool. So individuals, we just call on the data frame. So the data frame is homelessness. Let me just copy that. Then we're going to use square brackets for this. That you mentioned the column using double quotes. Hold up a minute. Let me change my keyboard. Okay. Double quote. We just mentioned the individual column here. So if I let me just copy this. I always love to try it in my Jupyter notebook first. So I just need to run the whole code from beginning. So my Jupyter notebook is going to get refreshed. Everything will get refreshed. And there's a way to refresh everything at once. So I paste this now. Because I also named my data set, my data frame, homelessness. So I want to select only the individual column rather than returning all the whole columns as I've been doing here. I only want to return the individual column. So let's run this code and see. It runs successfully. So I have to go back here and call on this individual column here. Let's see. You can see now. It is returning it as this. We want to return it as something like this. I think I need to use, okay. Let's use .head there. So .head. So that will be better. Oh, there's an error somewhere. What is my error? Oh, it's supposed to be the other way around. .head. Then open and close brackets. Aha. But it's turning it as a single. But I don't want it like this. I want it in a better way. There's a way to do it. Let me see how to do it and make it better. What if I wrap it in print? Let me see if print is going to work. Let me see if I can. Is return it as that? There's a way you can actually use to return it that's going to return a good record for you. Let me see if I put it in square brackets. See the same way. I'll try to figure it out later though. I'll return it as this view here. I don't want to return it as just an ordinary something like this. But let's run the code here. So this should work fine here also. If I run the code, you can see print individuals. So it's actually returning it the same way, the same exact way though. You can see. So we only return the individual column from this big data column here. So it's 25701434. If you compare the information 25701434, that means we nailed that. Let's submit and see. So let's create a data frame called state family that contains only the states and family members columns of homelessness in that order. Okay. Let's say individual column. So let me just copy this to make it faster and easier. I'll just copy this and say state farm. So it's going to be state farm double brackets this time around. Then comma. So it's going to be states and family member, if I'm not mistaken. States. So the next column we want to return is family members. So we want to return just these two columns. If I run this, so we just call on the state farm dot head. Let us return just few number of rows. Ooh, can see this is running it in a much more better. Probably because it is two or more columns. It is two columns. I don't know why this is returning just. I prefer this method. I prefer this result. I need to figure out how to make sure this result is also like this. I'm pretty sure this is the correct way. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's run the same code here. You can see, so we return same result here. Let's submit this. So create a data frame called in state that contains individuals and states columns of homelessness in that order. So same thing we want to return here. Let me just paste this. Oops. Let me just go back here real quick and copy this. So we want to return individuals this time around and states. And states. So let's run this code here real quick. It's working fine. Let's see it in Jupyter Notebook also. Oh, I didn't copy. I like copying the comment also, so I can always read it. So when I'm reading the code next time, the comments will help you to understand what the code is doing. Okay. Colon in state now. Dot edge. Let's see, we got just the individual and state column out of this whole big data set here that we this our homelessness CSV file here. That's how to sort. So that's how to sort, filter, and subset rows and subset columns. Let's see what we need to learn also here. We know this. So radical reordering. Selecting and reordering columns can make data easier to work with. So that's interesting. Let's see. So subsetting rows. Now we've learned to subset columns. Let's see how we can do that with rows also. We want to select rows that are greater than or less than certain figure. So a large part of data science is about finding which bits of your data sets are interesting. One of the simplest technique for this is to find a subset of rows that match some criteria. So this is sometimes known as filtering rows or selecting rows. There are many ways to subset a data frame. Perhaps the most common is to use relational operators to run true or false for each row, then pass that inside square brackets. Okay, that's interesting. So dogs data frame, dogs height greater than 60, dogs color is equal to tan. We can filter for multiple conditions at once by using the bitwise and operator. Okay, bitwise and operator, which is the and. So dogs height greater than 60 and dogs color equal to tan. So homelessness is available and pandas is loaded as PD. So let's do the same thing. It says filter homelessness for cases where the number of individuals is greater than 10,000, assigning assigning it to this data frame, individuals greater than 10K, view the printout result. Okay, I want to filter. Let's do that. So that will now be homelessness. Let's copy this. So homelessness. Then just mention the heights, the column you want. Individuals column. Let's see. Individuals columns greater than 10,000. So it's gonna be 10,000. Then 1, 2, 3. Let's see if this is going to work without mentioning homelessness twice. Oh. I think if you let's run it like this and see. Want to see? Let's run the code. Successful. Let's call on this data frame, this variable here. Dot edge. So it's going to show us rows where the record is greater than 10k. It's returning false, false. So if you want it to return it as a column like this, I think we need to wrap it in another. Oh, okay. We just need to wrap it in homelessness. Let me see that. I figured it out. It's going to return false, true, false, false, true, false, true. View, square brackets, then square bracket again. Let's see. Ooh, you ran into an error. No, that's not good. Hmm. I think I'm missing something here. Okay, let me see another way to do this. Let's see. If I wrap this in square brackets, I'll now mention homelessness again here. Oh, let's delete this and see first. I want to run this code here. This ran fine. So that is a much more better way to do it. I figured it out. So if I call on this now, it's going to show the record. Dot edge. Let's see it. Voila. So it's going to show it better. So I need to wrap it in homelessness twice. And I can see this is what it's doing for me. This is our initial code. Since I want to return it, I don't want it to return it true false like it did earlier. I needed to wrap it in homelessness again. I think I could do the same thing for my initial data set here. Let's see this data set here. Let's see. Square brackets. Square brackets here. Let me see if this code is going to return an error. It's going to return an error. So let me see if I filter it like this and mention the data frame again one more time. Ooh, the error is much. So let's go ahead first. Let me just clear this error here. Now let's run it again. Voila. Voila is back. I was hoping this trick is going to work for this also. Why using it to filter the rows? But it's not working. Let's continue with this. Okay, so let's run this code now. You can see it's returning true, false, true, false. You can see. So we don't want it to be turning true, false. So for each row, the row that are not greater than 10,000 is going to return false. Let's see row number 4 here. You can see row number 4. Now this one is really returning only the rows that meets the criteria. You can see 4, 9, 32, 37, 43. 4, 9. Let's see. 4. The next one is 9. As the next one is, you can see false, false. So the next one should be 32. Can you see 32? So that's the row that means. So this is going to return all the rows. But this method here is only going to return those rows that meet that criteria. Interesting. Let's submit. It's going to return an error. Okay. Do you correctly define the panda data frame? We correctly define. Oh, okay. What is not the error? I don't want to get help. Okay. Let me not select all of this. It's still giving me the same results. I tried submitting and saying I'm going into an error. Okay, let's figure it out here. Since we figured it out in okay. That's because I didn't add okay. One more square brackets. And I add my homelessness to the outside parts here. And let's run the code again. Voila, I can see. So they want it to be returned in a column in this result here. Voila. So for filter homelessness, For cases where USA census region is mountain, assigning it to mountain region. Let's do the same thing like we did here. I'll just copy this real quick just to save time. If you come back here, say homelessness where the region this time around, the region is equal to, so what is double equal to, that is equal to in Python is equal to mountain. Want to be equal to mountain, so it has to be in quotes. See the results. So I have to use prints. Prints mountain region dot add open and close brackets. So let me run this in my Jupyter notebook and see. Let's see this in action. So you're going to filter only those rows where the region is mountain. Add. So if you run the code, let's see. Voila, I can see the region is mountain. So that's how you filter the data in Python. Interesting. Let's hit submit here. Ooh, print mount region. Okay, that comes I use dot add here. Let's see. So this is going to return audio results. Oh, my first output. Let me see my first output rather. It returns the correct result. Let's see. Okay. So depending on what they want. So filter homelessness for cases where the number of family members is less than 1,000 and region is Pacific, assigning it to family less than 1K Pacific. Interesting. We want to filter based on two criteria now. I want to use the AND method there. And just like they did here, and filtering. Let's see it in action. Okay. I just have to go and copy this and make use of it one more time. We're like 30 minutes into the live stream. Let's see. So homelessness, okay, so where the number of family members, I want to filter family members is less than 1,000. We just change this to less than 1,000. 1, 2, 3. Then the next one is going to be and. But to solve that, we need to wrap this in brackets. Let's see. In brackets. So this is one criteria. You can see it was wrapped in brackets. Now again, we need to be careful. I need to be careful here. So the bracket is going to be from here. Homelessness, family members less than 1,000. Use the and sign. And I'm going to copy these parts. So we may run into an error. So that's normal. Then we're going to clean it out. Let's see. And homelessness region. This time around region is equal to Pacific. Okay, let's see. Let's see this in action first. If we don't run into an error, I'm just going to use my Jupyter notebook to test it out first. I need to copy the raw content I need to copy here. Let's see. Oh, there'll be an error. You can see. Wait. So we are missing a step. Homelessness. So I'm missing the step here. Homelessness. Family members is less than 1,000. And I'm missing my square bracket here. My bracket. There's also be a bracket here. And let's try it again. Something is here wrong somewhere. Let me try it out. So using the AND technique, maybe it may run into an error. Let's explain the error. Let's use AI. So there's something wrong somewhere. Can see homelessness, square brackets. There's also be square bracket first. Okay. And so my mistake was using square bracket and so after all that, you need to wrap it in this. Now let's see this in action again. So you have to be pretty careful while trying to place those. So I'm missing a closing parenthesis somewhere. Let me see. Let me work it out from the inside. Homelessness, family members, less than 1,000. Okay. And homelessness region. So the region is going to be having square brackets, comma, brown. Is it supposed to be a normal day? This last part here. Let's see. No way. You can see. Okay. Oh, I'm missing something. So I started with this. I didn't just want to copy this answer here. I need to pay attention to those curly brackets. So homelessness. So homelessness, square brackets, circular brackets, family members. Then it ended it with, you can see. Oh, I've seen my mistake. That's my mistake. So this is supposed to end with this circle bracket here. Okay, let's see now. Voila. So I've seen my mistake there. So you have to be pretty sure of what you are starting and what you are ending with. So let's see this in action. So you need to pay attention to those. The brackets. There's a way you use the brackets. You can see so only one row of data meets this criteria. But why using this square brackets? You can see. Okay, probably because when we are using AND, you have to be pretty careful starting with. Okay, homelessness. The homelessness outside of here. So the more you practice this curly bracket, square bracket, the easier it gets. So I'm just going to copy this result here and make use of it right here. So we got one row of data, you can see. So that is correct. Voila. So super subsetting. So using square bracket plus logical condition is often the most powerful way of identifying interesting rows of data. Interesting. So we have one more. The subsetting rows by categorical variables. One more challenge to do. I think we have like two more or three more. So you can also add a new column. Let's see. Let's see. So subsetting rows by categorical variables. So subsetting data based on a categorical variable often involve using the OR operator or this ampersand sign to select rows for multiple categories. This can get tedious when you want all states in one of the three different regions. For example, instead use the isIn method, which will allow you to tackle this problem by writing one condition instead of three separate ones. So interesting. So instead of using and, okay, we can use the in, just like using in SQL. So probably colors in brown, black, and tan. Condition dogs that have color is in colors that you mentioned. Dogs condition. Okay. So let's do this same thing for homelessness. To filter homelessness for cases where the US Census state is in the list of Mojave states, Kanu, assigning it to Mojave homelessness will be printed out. Okay. So it's in the list. Okay, the list of Mojave states, Kanu. So there's a list here: California, Arizona, Nevada, then Utah. Filter for rows in these Mojave desert states. Okay. So you have to just use is in homelessness. Then you say states. Then you mention the states. We're using the states column this time around. States. Then use the is in method. Is in. So just mention this Kanu. Just like that. Super simple. Interesting. Let's see. Let me just copy this. So there's a list already for those states. So I'm just going to copy this out. If you want this code, so this is a list. We can make use of this list in this second line of code. So we'll call on this Mojave Mojave.add. See the results here. Oh, I'm missing an S. Okay, you can see. I need to copy the complete. I see true false, but we don't want true false. We want it to return a correct result. Just wrap it in. Quote as usual. I'm going to mention this homelessness one more time. And let's see it in action. Voila, you can see. So that's how it works. So we are only returning for states that fall between California, Arizona, Nevada, and Utah. If I run the same results here, let's see. I see true, false, true, false. But we have to be careful. We don't want true, false, true, false. I'll just wrap this up with square brackets. Paste this square brackets. You can see. So it's going to return 4 rows of data for us. Let's submit that. Voila, success is in the air. So using is in makes subsetting categorical variables a breeze. You can see that is subset categorical variables in Python. Interesting. Oh, so I've been learning for the past 51 days, just off live stream doing some. So I'm just maintaining. So I'm trying to maintain my streak. I don't want to miss a day, even though I don't come online. I don't live stream. I try as much as possible. Not so that I see that result of 51 days over there. So let's learn how to add new columns to our data sets so that when we got connected to data sets, uh, there are no new columns. So you can definitely add new columns just like you would do in Excel and Power BI. Let's see that in action. Bro, let me use my headset. I haven't used it for the past 40 minutes.
In the last lesson, you saw how to subset and sort a data frame to extract interesting bits. However, often when you first receive a data frame, the contents aren't exactly what you want. You may have to add new columns derived from existing columns. Creating and adding new columns can go by many names, including mutating a data frame, transforming a data frame, and feature engineering. Let's say we want to add a new column to our data frame that has each dog's height in meters instead of centimeters. On the left-hand side of the equals, we use square brackets with the name of the new column we want to create. On the right-hand side, we have the calculation. Notice that both the existing column and the new column we just created are in the data frame. Let's see what the results are if we calculate the body mass index, or BMI, of these dogs. BMI is usually calculated by taking a person's weight in kilograms and dividing it by their height in meters squared. Instead of doing this with people, we'll try it out with dogs. Again, the new column is on the left-hand side of the equals, but this time our calculation involves two columns. The real power of pandas comes in when you combine all the skills you've learned so far. Let's figure out the names of skinny, tall dogs. First, to define the skinny dogs, we take the subset of dogs who have a BMI of under 100. Next, we sort the result in descending order of height to get the tallest skinny dogs at the top. Finally, we keep only the columns we're interested in. Here you can see that Max is the tallest dog with a BMI of under 100. Time to practice your pandas powers.
Okay, so let's add a new column to our data frame. Okay, adding new columns. So you aren't stuck with just the data you are given. Instead, you can add new columns to a data frame. This has many names such as transforming, mutating, and feature engineering. You can create new columns from scratch, but it is also common to derive them from other columns. For example, by adding columns together or by changing their units. So homelessness is a data frame containing estimate of homelessness in each US state in 2018. The individual column is the number of homeless individuals, not part of a family with children. The family members column is the number of homeless individuals, parts of a family with children. The state pop column is the state's total population. So homelessness is available and pandas is loaded. So let's answer this key question. So add a new column to homelessness, name total, containing the sum of the individuals and family members column. That's quite straightforward. So once we add a total column, the column should be called total, but we need to call on the homelessness data frame first. Then you're going to say homelessness. So our new column is going to be called total, which is going to be the sum equals to the sum of the individuals. Okay. So homelessness, I call on the columns. Want to sum together. That should be individuals. Let's see if this is going to work. Individuals plus homelessness. Let's see. Family members. So I'm calling on these two columns for this calculation. Let's see it first in Jupyter Notebook. Voila, it works fine. So if I call on this data set now, If I column homelessness now, let's see. You should have a new column here. Voila. So we have a new column already called total. You see. We can actually start working with this column as we wish. Okay. So add a P homeless column as proportion of total homeless population to the state population. Okay, add another column to homelessness named P homeless. Okay. Let me just paste this here. Okay, not this. I may have to copy the whole of this. Controls. So we are going to call this P homeless. Okay, our new column is going to be called P homeless. Okay, P homeless, add and total. Then for P homeless, containing the proportion of total homeless population to the total population in each state. That should be proportion of total population, total, which is our total from here. Total column, that should be divided by the proportion divided by the state pop, divided by the state pop. Let's see. We added a new column now. Let's see if it's going to work. It's run fine. So let's call on homelessness one more time to see the new column we've added. Voila. You can see we have P homelessness. This is the percent. You can see some of them are 70%. All this one is 27%. That is proportion of total population to the state population. Interesting. Let's run the code. Voila, you can see we have a lot of data here. Let me switch off my circle camera real quick there. Okay, see our results here. See, you can see, so I move to the right here. I need the total population column here. Total population compared to the what? To the proportion of population. Let's submit the answer. Oh, we are missing something. Did it correctly define pandas data frame homelessness? There is no column total. Okay, seeing capital letter T and a small letter T. You are supposed to use capital small letter T rather. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Let's run the code again and hit submit. Voila. As you can see, they're actually case sensitive here. Now let's create a combo attack. Ooh, this is quite much. Let's see if we can do that. So combo attack. So you've seen the four most common types of data manipulation: sorting rows, subsetting columns, subsetting rows, and adding a new column. So in real life data analysis, you can mix and match these four manipulations to answer a multitude of questions. So in this exercise, you answer the question, which state has the highest number of homeless individuals per 10,000 people in the state? Okay, if the state population is 10,000, probably above 10,000. So which state has the number of homeless individuals if that state population is 10,000 people? Can you combine your new panda skills to find out? Okay, let's see. Let's refresh. Okay. So create individual per 10K column as homeless individuals per 10K state population. How do you do that? Let's see. It says add a column to homelessness, individual per 10K, containing the number of homeless individuals per 10,000 people in each state using state pop for state population. It's like saying 10,000 times. Let's see how can we do that? How can we do that? Let's say homelessness individuals equals to 10,000 times. That should be individual divided by state population. Okay, let's see. That will definitely be individuals. Let me try it out in my Jupyter notebook first. Let's answer a question here. That would be homelessness. Homelessness. So our column is going to be the individual column. Individuals. Then going to be the state pop here. Let's see. Okay, that's correct. So let me see. It says create individual pattern column as homeless individuals at 10,000 state population. Okay. So if I call on homelessness now, let's see. Let's see now. Well, I can see. So individual per 10K. So you can see. Okay. So it is multiplying 10,000 by the division of these results here. Okay, now let's see the next. I may just copy this result from here. I'll make use of it in my DataCamp interface here. Okay, so subset rules for individual greater than 20. For individual greater than 20, want to subset them. Let's see, some are greater than 27%. Okay, we're looking at the percentage of those. Okay. So subset rules where individual per 10K is higher than 20, assigning it to high homelessness. Okay, let's see. Control C. So let's try it out again. Where the individuals per 10K is greater than 20. So how do we do that? Just use I'm just going to copy this. So homelessness individuals per 10K. Instead of this, now say greater than 20. Let's see. Voila, it worked fine. So let's look at the high homelessness. Dot edge. You can see those greater than 20, you can see it here. Okay, now let me copy this part of the code. So we are nailing the question little by little. Voila. So it now says sort high homelessness by descending individual 10K assigning to high homelessness source. Now let's sort this. We want to see those descending from the highest to lowest, not the other way around. Okay. Let's sort high homelessness by descending individual 10K. Okay. Okay, I'll just go and copy this real quick. So I'm going to mention, let's see how do we sort. So you need to mention ascending equals to false, you can see. Mention ascending. Let me make use of this single one here. Once you use the sort values, Let's say those sort values. I need to make use of this sort values. You can say I was using the sort values to do this. So homelessness dot sort values. I'm going to mention the column I want to use this time around. I want to use the 10K. Onto view. But hold up a minute. So the question says sort I homelessness by sending individual by 10K. Okay. So that's correct. Let's see. If I call on this homelessness sorts dot edge, so it's going to sort this column by highest to lowest. You can see now from highest to lowest. We are just sorting the column. Let me just copy this part of the code here. Let's use it here. Okay, so from I homelessness, select the states and individual per 10K columns. So from this result now, I want to only select the states and individual per 10K. Only want to select only just 2 columns there. Okay. Just 2 columns this time around. Okay, so how do we do that? So just go back up. I want to select only 2 of more columns. Just mention the columns. Just mention the column. So we want to use this sort, this one that was sorted here, not the actual data again. Okay. So let's select the states. Select the states. And individual. Thank you. Let's see. So if I call on result now, well, I can see the results here. You can see. So let's just call on the top 5. That's our result now. You can see the top 5. You can see the states and individuals per 10K. So this is the highest states. The state of Colombia, followed by Hawaii, California, Oregon, and Nevada. Interesting. Let me just copy this and make use of it. That's a pretty long challenge. Now let's see the results here in Jupyter Notebook also. In the interview, you can see. So that's how you sort it. So select only the state and individual per 10K columns of I homelessness sort and save it as a result. Look at the results. We run into an error. You should sort the values in I homelessness, not homelessness. That's what we did though. I just sorted the value in. Let's see. Something is wrong somewhere. We actually sort the values in I homelessness dot sort, not homelessness. That was what we did. You can see. It's not saying we run into an error now. Let me just refresh the code. Ctrl C, refresh. I'll just copy and paste everything again. Voila. So print results. Result equals to I homelessness dot sort. Right. We got the answer perfectly well though. You just click on help for help's sake. Okay. Sort I homelessness. Can see. Oh, my mistake was from here. But we haven't done. Okay. When we're sorting here, we are supposed to sort I homelessness, subset the rows. Oh, okay, I've seen my mistake. In this way, I actually sorted I homeless. Oh, I didn't sort I homelessness there. That was my mistake. Let's run it again. So once I've filtered to the I homelessness. I was also use it in the sort record here. Now let's run it again. Okay, okay, okay. Definitely we see how the same result though. We see how the same result. Same result we added there. So the error was here from here. I homelessness. I see the result is now different. Exactly. Oh, even from here, if I call on, let me just return audio result for me. Because I should be getting just few number of states exactly, not the whole states. Interesting. So we missed a step there. Voila. So good combination. So District of Columbia has the highest number of homeless individuals, almost 54 per 10,000 people. This is almost double the number of the next highest states. Hawaii, if you combine new column addition, row subsetting, and column selection, you can answer a lot of questions like this. Oh, interesting. So that was a pretty tough challenge. Oh, we completed chapter 1. Interesting. So that's a lot of learning. So you see the reason why I have to break the whole learning, the whole first chapter into 2 live stream. Because if you should spend a whole a single live stream on this, you'll be spending close to 2 hours on the live stream, which may probably be boring for some people. You get it now. So the next chapter will be aggregating data frames, which is summing statistics. So I'll see about that on day 21 as we continue our learning journey. All right, so thanks for staying to the end of the live stream. So if you found value in this learning journey with me, do well to support the channel by giving the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and put on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know whenever I go live or drop a new content on the channel. As usual, go ahead and watch previous live streams on Python, Power BI, and SQL to sharpen your data skills. And I'll see you in the next video on the channel. Have a wonderful day. See you on day 21 as usual, where we are going to start a new section which is aggregating our data in pandas. Bye bye.